It's always so funny. It
I
says
know.
we're live. Are we live?
Hello, 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 hello. We just say a lot of hellos. That way everybody can join in and sing hello with us. Hello, 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 hello. We've got Elle Ingalls here up in the house. Gallery view. Boom, boom, boom. How you
Hello.
doing today, baby? So good to
I'm
see
doing
you.
great. I'm doing fabulous. I'm working hard today, launching an amazing new course. So,
So my name is Leila Veronica. If you don't know, I'm a business coach and a body coach. And the reason I'm sitting here in a sports bra is because I just finished teaching my weekly Bowspring class. So you can see the yoga mat in the back and all that. So we just hopped on right after class and I'm still in my workout gear. But Elle, I could hear from Elle Ingalls here as my accountability partner, my bestie, my retreat leader, partner, collaborator. She's an author, she's a speaker, she's a world leader really in stress management, high performance coaching. And what she has created is called the Pressure Free Method. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know, I've been connected with Elle for about 2.5 years. It's totally changed my life, the Pressure Free Method. And what's possible for my life in the future is like unreal. Can't even believe it because of this. And then, you know, what I've taught you with the Bowspring, this posture system, right? You've taught me pressure free. I've taught you posture. It's totally changed your life, right? And
yes.
yeah, and I'll kind of let you go off in a second here. But because I'm so excited to have you, you know, I'm so excited for us to be here together. I love you so much.
I love you
Uh,
too.
yeah, Elle and I talk every morning, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. In the mornings, we have an accountability call. So we've been doing that for 2.5 years now. And it's been really, really important to both of our growth. And I'm super grateful to have her as a friend, as a colleague, as a world leader that I'm connected to. So without further ado, Elle Ingalls, how are
Huh.
you today? How are you?
I'm great. And I want to get right to this posture thing because I shared something with you this week from, was it 2012, 2013? A little snippet of goal work of mine.
It was 2013. It was, yeah, it was like what she sent was basically what she had written down. Like
Right.
what you had sent me, what you had written down.
What I had written down back in 2013. And I joke about this, but if you go back probably to when I was 18, when I first started putting together a goal journal and writing my goals, one of my top goals every single year was posture. Except for the last 2 years, I haven't had to put it on the list.
Boom, figured that posture out since decades later. Whoop, whoop.
And of course, I'm still working on it. It's always a work in progress. We're always a work in progress, both with pressure free and with the posture that you teach in the Bowspring method, which has totally changed my life. I was a woman with a lot of back pain, hip dysplasia, having my babies late. Yoga was hurting me. And then I found you. And posture was just this thing always. I'd always suffered from bad posture when I grew tall in 8th grade. I didn't want to be tall. I didn't want to be that tall. And so
Right?
I had the rounded shoulders. I showed you pictures of me, like horrific posture.
Yeah, I mean, sitting on the couch and it was just very like, yeah, just this, you know, wanting to be small, like not as tall, right? So trying to make yourself a little smaller somehow,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And a lot of women do that. They don't want to be as big. And I'm like telling everybody, like, take up the space you're allotted.
Tall boys too, tall men.
Same thing.
They'll be leaning over. I have a lot of tall relatives in my family and they all have that. And so I used to think it was genetic, by the way. I used to think that I couldn't help it.
Yeah. I love that because right when you were saying that, what popped into my mind right before was really people don't have a system. They don't have a path to good to healthy posture. That's what the Bowspring is. It's a path to healthy posture. So you might have thought I need to work on my posture and you were just trying to stand up straight and pull your shoulders back. There was no system because the posture is the whole body.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think the number one thing you have taught me to help me with my posture is sitting on my femur bones, on my hamstrings versus my butt. that immediately opens me up into this radiant, beautiful posture. And because I'm on the computer working or coaching someone across the globe, I'm sitting. And I like to sit. I don't use a standing desk because I'm also out and about a lot. But when I sit now and when I drive, I use what you taught me. And so if you are struggling with your posture, if you have any sort of hip, joint pain, I mean, the other thing is how you taught me how to walk differently. And it took 2 years. And now my son, Hugh, we were looking at the bottoms of our shoes to see where they were wearing. Completely different now. We used to wear down the heels on the outer side, the heels, because we were heel striking. And now we do front of foot and come down gently with the heel. So I know.
I'm about to cry over your soft walk. Oh.
Totally changes your life. My son admits it too. Like we were literally in a hotel room looking at our 2 shoes together and how different they were. And it's changed our lives. And when you're walking that way, your presence is totally different. And I like to walk in the forest. I walk out in nature almost every single day. And when I'm out there and I'm walking that way, it's like I'm walking gently on the earth. When I walk in my house, I always walked rather softly. I used to sneak up on my mother-in-law and freak her out because she goes, I didn't know you were there, because I don't have a hard walk, but now I have a totally soft walk for all my joints and my spine. And it's a totally natural way to walk. And so I really, really appreciate everything you've taught me. Those 2 things have just really opened up my world. And of course, learning the bowspring with you too. Fantastic.
I love that.
And so
my heart is just so on. I mean, right now I'm just almost speechless, which is when you get Leela speechless, like, watch out. What the?
That doesn't happen, right?
That does not happen very often, but I'm like, I just want to feel it. I think
well, I also want to bring forward, because you're probably going to share this too, how long it took you to have your breakthrough day in Pressure Free.
Yeah. So
one of the things,
the thing is, I just taught a class, right? You can see, I have my mat, I have my sports bra on here. 2 new women joined up and started doing Bowspring. They joined the mastermind program, the business coaching clients, and they want to, work on their body, find a new way to show up in the world, right? And so it was really fun today getting to teach newbies. It's always fun when you get newbies. You're like, because you get to, I love teaching. One, I'm a natural born teacher. So I love to break things down to simple. And when you have new people, you can break it down simple, right? And even as simple as you might break it down, it's still fairly complex. It's not easy, right? And so what was beautiful is one of my clients today said, I was doing it, but I didn't feel like I was doing it right. And I said, you probably weren't. Right. You probably weren't, and that's okay. And that's the growth is through the process. And I loved what you shared, and I'm about to share about Pressure Free here in a second. But I love what you shared about this posture system, that it took you 2 years. Yeah. Me too. I mean, me too. And I'm still finding places where I'm like, like for me, I'm going to give you an example. I've been doing this now since 2014. And I just have really recently in the last, probably several months, realized that my ribs in general sit a little to the right. I just literally my whole rib cage just kind of leans. I got a little lean to the right, So I'm like, okay, how can I find the balance between the left side and the right side of my rib cage? So I'm working on having to shift it to the left, and it feels weird. So I have to look in the mirror, I have to practice, right? So even now, these years later, there's still refinements.
Yeah.
So it's the commitment in general. Day one, I'm all in. I'm going to do this no matter what. Like you were, I found it, you found it. We're doing it. We love it. And even if it's not always, we don't always understand what we're doing, as long as we're not hurting ourselves, of course, we just keep going, keep learning.
Yeah. I want to point out, because you are wearing what you're wearing, and hold your arm up again. So
I'm 40 years old. I'm like 40 years old.
And you don't lift weights, do you?
I don't lift weights. I don't really have to work out that much, to be honest. because I'm simply living in a way. So I'll just give you, because what, let's be of service here, right? Like,
Yes.
I can't show you my arms and not show you how to get them. It's really, number one, the heart on the inside, the rib cage, the heart energy growing. So then it supports all this. The hand, instead of this, most people are doing this a lot, and the hand's all, soften the hand, little engagement with the hand, the palm, and that's all it is. And then the pinky edge of the hand starts to work, and that builds a tricep. Most people, tricep is weak. They're like, it's just, my mother and my grandmother had that too. Right? Which I believe fully. However, I bet you they also did this a lot too.
Yeah.
And so you picked it up and are doing that too. Right? So it's not that they are built like that. They're just doing things like we learn to walk and sit and stand and move a lot from our family. And then the cool kids at school, we thought we wanted to mimic.
Right. Imitation. Yeah.
Imitation. And so back to the arms, soften the pinky instead of letting it go. Just soften the hands, soften the fingers, just let it go, let it soften. And then, and there's more. If you want to learn more about how to do it all, send me a little message, and I've got lots of resources for you. Yeah, I'm 40 years old and I feel like I'm aging backwards. The fountain of youth. Number one is posture. Number two is pressure free. So I'm going to say, and then I want you to explain a little bit what it is.
Sure.
It took me 6 months, right, to have a pressure free day. And that was about 2 years ago. And every day, or let me see, how do I say this? As time goes on, there's more and more space between when I trigger stress hormones. So as time's going on, there's more time between my triggers. So what the heck am I talking about with triggers?
Okay. I try to keep everything simple. So just 3 simple steps. The first thing was that you had to come to a realization, and you have to come to this realization that something needs to change because the trajectory of your life is going this way. And for people like us as business owners, if we've got a part of our life going this way, we're not congruent. We're not congruent. The inside's not matching the outside.
We want business to go up.
It needs to go up. So that means our body has to go up. That means our brain has to go up. That means our health has to be going up. Like all of it. We have to be congruent, or people see that. They see there's something missing. So targets. What are you aiming for? What are you aiming for?
I love this. And can I tell everybody what I was aiming for?
Yeah.
I was just aiming for more ease in my business. Basically. More ease, less stress, which we'll talk about. More ease, less stress, basically. And I wanted to work less. I didn't want to have to work so hard.
Yeah. And you hear that all the time. Work smarter, not harder. But how the heck do you do it?
Boom, elleingles.com.
That's right. So targets, that's step 1. Next step are triggers. And that's become a very popular word today. You'll hear teens use it all the time. I'm getting triggered or whatever. So what exactly is causing you to feel an emotion that's tense or tight or overexcited? It's causing a release of adrenaline. So you can start to figure that out. And it can be something as simple as a smell. It could be traffic. It could be worry about someone not getting back to you with an email, or worry that someone hasn't texted you back. A lot of people have text stress. Text stress, it goes on and on. And so mapping out your triggers, like figuring out what they are, is step 2. Once you can see that, oh yeah, this thing causes me to feel tense, then it's like, ask yourself this question. Is it worth me releasing hormones that are going to mess up my body and mind for up to 9 hours if you're a guy, 24 hours if you're a woman? Is it worth me going into this stress cycle that's going to compromise my body and the way I think for up to 24 hours? I don't think so. It's just the smell of bacon, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll share some of my triggers.
Sure.
Let's see. So I've had different triggers over time. Some have been released, some they're harder to remember. A trigger that I've noticed recently, because I've been working on patience. I want to become a better listener. I want to become more patient. And I'm playing with the concept and the energy of patience.
Beautiful.
And I have been for a few months. And what I notice is when I'm not patient. And so that's a trigger, right? So it's when people complain and they complain and they complain and they cannot get out of complaint. I get itchy, what I call. So yeah, which is a trigger, which is meaning, I got to watch not to let that get me so much that, like, I used to, when I was younger, like I remember being 19 years old. I remember this person in particular just complain all the time. And I'd be like, why are you complaining all the time? Your life is amazing. Blah, 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 blah. Trying to show her the brighter side through beating her with it, like,
by complaining.
Just be grateful.
I'm trying to show her complaining by complaining.
Exactly, girlfriend. So what it is I don't like my own complaining. So whatever I'm complaining about, I'm seeing another, right? It's like the whole mirror effect. Right. So the point is, if I, that could be a trigger that could trigger stress hormones, right? I'm trying to think of a trigger, it used to trigger me, and a lot of my clients deal with this, when you weren't sure if somebody was going to get back to you, or if they weren't getting back to you in a timely manner, what you thought was a timely manner. Right. It used to trigger me big time. I'd be like, oh, why are they getting back? Or if somebody was a no-show, I'd be like, oh, that's so out of integrity, not reliable, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
Ridiculous, right? Like, whatever. So I was compromising, like you said, myself, because something outside of me I felt was like wrong or something.
Right.
Which is inaccurate.
It's inaccurate. Yeah.
Inaccurate. Yeah.
And once you do trigger, you're now vulnerable to trigger again and again and again. Like when I was super honest with myself, I would trigger up to 20 times just trying to get the family ready in the morning. Honestly, that's being really honest. Scraping the windshield, and then it's on the inside too, and just a zillion triggers.
Gotta get the socks on. Where's my left shoe?
Oh no, everything is wet because we played in the snow last night.
Get out the blow dryer. No.
Oh, now I need to pack extra socks for the kids at school, but are they actually going to put them on? No.
Right? Trigger, stress hormone. I mean, business owners, they could be stressed by an email. They could be stressed by somebody not showing up, or somebody showing up in a way that they don't like. And they could be stressed by, not getting something they want. Some opportunity came and then it got taken away.
Right.
The fear of not more coming, right? That stress that. So,
and I do want to mention some of the big ones. Some of the big ones are finances. That's a huge stressor for people. Health, any sort of health issue with yourself or anyone you care about. So if you're a caregiver for someone and someone is ill, it's a huge burden. So many stressors involved with that. A lot of people are simply stressed by the unknown of what's going to happen in 2020. So those are kind of really big stressors. And the media really stresses people out. So people who watch the evening news or the 11 p.m. news can't get to sleep. They usually are triggering over things that they can't control. So that's a big one. Anything that we don't have control over and we're upset about it, like we'll just trigger over those things. So those are big ones. So now the solution, we're going to give you the solution right here.
Yeah. So before we do it, let's keep it a little secret. Okay. Why are we even doing this? Like, what about posture and pressure free? We said the fountain of youth, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's what this is all about. So Let's tell them how. Let's give them the magic. But I just want to remind everybody, this is about you feeling better. This is about you being energized, feeling younger, feeling more vibrant, more uplifted, more hopeful. All of the things that you wanted, when you were younger, before the world took you down, or before your mind took you down, right? Before some life experience got to you. Let's bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
A more fresh and clean kind of energetic space. So posture is a key. Keep your body, and then go ahead. And then this not having stress, right, is key to keeping. We all know stress kills, but it also ages us, right?
Yeah, it ages us significantly, especially skin, but every organ. So every organ starts to be depleted from all nutrients. So you could be having the best diet and exercise every day and still be very, very ill at the cellular level if you're releasing stress hormones. So that's why this is so key. And I just look at myself. If I showed you, we were watching home videos over the Christmas 20 years ago. My whole face was red with stress acne. I had eczema covering my hands so much that I hid my hands because I couldn't wear a ring on this hand at all. This hand was bloated over my wedding ring. Like I couldn't even move it because it was so swollen and gross. And I felt like crap. So I looked older then than I do now, which is amazing. So many different things have happened, and I'm in now 10 years, almost 10 years pressure free. So I'm watching this. I'm watching this evolution of a human being feel younger, experience like no pain in the body. That's just amazing for me because I lived with so much pain on my hands from the eczema, pain every day. And you don't even realize how much pain you're in until you're free of it. And that's like, wow.
Whoa. Mind blown. I didn't realize how much pain I was in until I was free of it. My pain that I was in mostly was just, I would get triggered and stressed and taken out and cry.
Right. Emotional fatigue and pain.
Emotional fatigue. Oh.
Yeah. How many hours a day or how much time a day do you feel like you have now because you're not in the emotional mess?
I have at least, here's what I'll say. It's not just about hours in the day, it's productive hours in the day.
Oh,
look at me. I'm all like productive, I love to be productive. I just do. I like to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And I like to get it done efficiently. And I like to do a lot of things efficiently.
Yeah.
So it's all about productivity for me, right? Return on investment. How much can I put in and how much can I get out? And can I maximize that with everything, with my time, with my life, with my energy, with my, so I would say I have at least 4 more hours now per day that are productive, focused towards my vision in life. Not like, the thing is most people get scatterbrained. They might be in the day and awake, but there's a lot going on. I'm like, because there's nothing inside my body, stress hormones wise.
Yeah. Your brain is not in stress sludge mode.
Oh, I'm not in the sludge anymore. Friends, give us a happy face. One of those like little happy, laughy faces. Laughy faces. Ah, ha, ha. If you've ever been in the mind sludge. Like seriously, mindsludge.com. When I started my business, like the first couple of years until I got a coach, and then until I got you, I was still, in and out of the mind sludge. And then now, if I'm in the mind sludge, it's very rare. It happens every once in a while. I'll get triggered by something.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
usually just take a nap.
I remember talking to one of my clients, one of my very first clients in 2010. I hadn't seen her in 2 years. And the first question I asked was, how are things different for you? And she goes, oh, my brain. I have enormous focus. It's so efficient, just so different. It's really cool. That's one of the greatest benefits. It's a benefit we can't see. So it's like, what are we experiencing? So now we need the third step.
Well, I'm going to say you can see it if you go back to my videos from 3 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
More stress hormones. No stress hormones. Different video, different energy, different price point, different kind of client. Everything is different because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No more crying on the floor.
No more crying on the floor. I did cry about something recently. What was it? Oh yeah, that was love. That was love.
Right.
Love.
Yeah,
That was love life stuff. That's good. It's good. It's good for me. Good tears.
And
Good tears.
we're going to get to that third P in a moment.
Okay, so we talked about posture, we talked about pressure free, but you said the third part. Sorry.
I need to give them the last step. So you got your triggers, you figured that out. So the last step are tools and the 10-second solution. So whenever you start to feel a tension in your body of any kind, tension mentally, tension physical, you have up to 10 seconds to use a tool to stay in the moment and choose your response to this thing instead of overreacting. Most of us are overreacting to smells, sight, traffic, everything. We're overreacting to the evening news. We're overreacting and triggering stress hormones. The only reason to trigger stress hormones is if you're really under attack. So what can you do in that 10-second interval? Quickest tool is to just relax your abs. We hold a lot of tension there. And that's what I love about the Bowspring. The Bowspring and Pressure Free both teach you to keep soft here now and then.
Stay soft on your belly. Let your belly be a Buddha belly.
Dogs, cats, all other mammals on all fours, they're not tensing their belly muscles.
Yeah.
They're not walking around tight.
There's a key piece here that I'd love to share and add on if you'd be
Love it.
Open, because there's a lot of people with low back issues. Low back from a mind-body connection, thoughts, energy to the body. Low back is money. So finance, you said, is a big challenge for people. Stressor, trigger. Yeah. It reflects in the body in the low back. The low back is connected to the belly button. So if you can even soften your belly and then think about that space between your belly button and your low back, growing, being wider from your belly to your low back this way, it'll help even more.
Yeah. And what does everybody try to do? Make that smaller.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You make that space bigger and then the sides will start to taper in. Right. So we could go on and on about that.
We could.
But go back. This is the juicy stuff. So let's just tap on that 10-second window piece again. If you know, that's my favorite part, by the way. Yeah. I'm always like, talk about the 10-second window.
Right. And that's from a resting heart rate. If you're elevated, like you're out for a run and you hear a loud sound, you can pop faster. So from a resting heart rate, you get about 10 seconds. So relax your abs. A smile keeps a chemical called dopamine flowing. That's the neurotransmitter that allows your brain to think. So you need to keep that working so you can choose your response instead of overreacting in your reptile brain, going into fight or flight. So smile is very helpful. And then I always encourage people to do a big body motion because that retrains your brain. So I have the Ferris wheel and you push this silly wheel and you can do it slowly or quickly, however it works for you. But when you do a big motion like this, it allows your brain to rewire. You're used to habitually doing something the same way over and over again, triggering the same way over the same things your whole life. Because you imitate it, just like you mentioned, we imitate how to walk, sit, stand. We also imitate emotions of our parents and anyone who cared for us and the kids we tried to emulate. We imitated. So like Mean Girl. Mean Girl is an imitation game. Oh, I can't believe she's wearing that. Oh, I can't believe she is. Why is she wearing that? Like you do the same face as your friend because you want them to like you.
Yep. Yeah, we all see that even when we fall in love. We start saying the same thing that they're saying and talking the same ways and making like
same face,
like baby animal noises like they do or something weird, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So those are your 3 steps: targets, triggers, tools with the 10-second solution in there.
Mm-hmm. And then in the 10-second solution, because this is my, there's the 3 steps. There's all sorts of things you can do, but the 3 steps for the 10-second solution. So you feel something that triggers you. You're like, oh no, I'm triggered. So you don't want to release adrenaline. So what do? In that 10-second window, before your body releases adrenaline, belly soft, smile, and raise your arms up.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this up just because it's about people next.
Yes.
And this is the thing. I left my computer at your house once.
Yeah.
Too far away from the airport to get it, in the airport line. It's a
I
trigger.
live in Michigan, by the way. You live in Colorado.
Yeah. And we travel to each other's states and do retreats together and events together. We're doing a retreat next year in Michigan, Lake Michigan, one of the most quintessential Americana towns. Sweet, sweet, sweet as peaches energies there. I'll tell you what, we're going to Bowspring, pressure free. We should call it the Fountain of Youth Retreat, by the way.
Oh, that's interesting. We could have fun with that.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah. We haven't named it right yet. So we're still waiting for the dates to open up for the houses, and then we'll let you guys know. If you want in on the retreat, let us know now, because we've already got people signed up. We've got a couple signed up already. So there's only so much space in these homes, these beautiful homes. So let us know. Okay, people. So with the Bowspring and with the pressure-free method, this is where I'm going to get really real. The truth is this. Most people will not change because they're scared of what other people will think of them. It is actually harder to live in a youthful, joyous, open way. Mm-hmm. It's much more difficult because most people aren't like that. So you're going to have to be different. So I just want to point that out for everybody who's like, oh yeah, I want to do this. And then you, a week later, forget. Or you are somewhere like the airport. So back to the airport story. I had to, in that moment, to save myself. No computer. Oh, I heard my brain go, oh crap, what am I going to do? Because I got a business to run. I need a computer, right? That was my brain. And then I knew pressure free. So I was like, soft belly, smile. And some lady looked at me and I go, I'm just saving my body from stress hormones. So you got to be willing. You got to be willing to care more about having a beautiful life, feeling good, showing up for yourself first, right? Then what anybody in that airport might think about you, or anybody in your family might think about you if you start skipping around and being happy. You're like, what are you doing? Don't let that bring you down. I just want to point that out because I get so jazzed. We need other people, and at the same time, we can be scared of changing because of the other people we have in our life.
Yeah, right. It's really true. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of the biggest things I see with women entrepreneurs is they are scared to step into their greatness because they're scared to leave their family behind or lose friends or seem like they're too much to their Facebook people, right? Like I get it. It's scary to be denied love, maybe, if you change.
And rejection. Yeah.
And
it's scary.
It's scary. Mm-hmm. And so we just want to say, you need people. So you need posture for the Fountain of Youth to keep you rising and open. You need pressure free, right? So you're not stressed, and you need people. So how do people, I'm curious because I'm so excited. You just moved somewhere. You have all this like cool stuff going on in Michigan. Can you share a little bit about how people keep you youthful?
Yeah. I think it really is important to find people who share values that you have. Like when you're with people like that, you're thriving because they get you. So I'm really fortunate that our immediate family, all three of our sons and my husband, we are all on the same page with very similar values. So that just fuels us. You know what I mean? So that's not always the case. So finding people that have similar values is, I think, really important. And that's how we got connected, is because we jumped in and spent a lot of money to work with a particular coach. And so when we met, both of us knew that there's a person willing to invest in themselves. Mm-hmm. And I watched that with our retreat this summer, how beautiful friendships were made, because these people that came to our retreat were every one of them knew, okay, we just up leveled, we just decided to do this. So there's some sort of value connection, you know? And the thing about you that I noticed was that you're a doer. I'm a doer. We're both doers. So that connection was huge. And sometimes I'll be working with a client and friendship is a difficult thing. And lately I've been saying, I point out our friendship because I'm 57. I'll be 58 this year. You're 40, right?
40. Mm-hmm.
That I'm old enough to be your mother.
Yep.
Yep. And so I will say your next friend your next best friend might not be your age, might be a different age.
Might live
Open
somewhere else.
up. Open
Might
up.
live somewhere else, come from somewhere else, be totally different age. I mean, so much.
So
and
much.
Yet, I love what you said, share the same values. And I'm going to add on there. I think what also helps is sharing the same vision. Like, you may not be teaching the bowspring on the daily, but you share the vision of, one, helping people, with the bowspring, with their body, with their posture, basically. Two, helping people with prosperous lives, whatever that means for them, right? That's what we both help people with, and stress-free and living a beautiful life, as you say, right? And we both have this vision for humanity. Like, I have a vision, I support your vision with pressure-free and getting out there in whatever way you want, and writing your novel and having a movie and she's amazing, friends. I could go on and on. I could probably list down her bio for the next 2 hours, but we won't do that this time.
We won't bore them with that.
Yeah. So you can see, the point is, you see how happy she is. She just lit up. I just realized, I'm just in this moment, you lit up. That's youthful energy, because I'm boosting you. I'm saying, hey, you're
we boost
amazing.
each other.
We boost each other. Yeah. So you need people. So, I run a mastermind group. I run body classes. You have coach people. You do speaking events, workshops, retreats. People need people.
People need people. Yes. I love that. And that, when you're focused on helping others too, that builds a youthfulness in you. It really does. It's like you can get so self-absorbed and so down in your shell. But when you're out there, I'm thinking about you when you do the chair yoga at the senior living place. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Chair yoga. I'll tell you what, go ahead.
No, I want you to tell. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I share with you, I had some sadness this past, couple months, because Dick died. The one guy who always came. So Martha's coming. Martha's been coming a lot. And I think she's now going to come all the time, because she knows Dick's not there. Right. So she's like, I got to make sure to remember. Martha's 94.
I love it.
Martha's 94. I've been learning more about her, not through her. When she's not in the room, her friend comes in and tells me stuff about Martha. But she's like, don't tell, she doesn't like when I talk about her, but she's talking all about Martha. So I'm getting to learn. She was a concert pianist.
Oh my gosh.
She lived in Paris and all these other European cities. All these things I've learned about her. She's traveled the world. She's done this, she's done that. And she's 94. She's tall, she's bright-eyed, she's bushy-tailed. She's missed one class, and she said she forgot. She goes, this mind of mine, she's like, I got to remember, one class she missed. It was funny. She said she forgot. But here's what she said. She goes, the older you get, the more you got to move. Keep moving. The older you get, the more you got to move. You got to keep moving.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. I have to meet this woman next time I come to Denver. I want to meet her.
Yeah, girl. Make sure you're here on a Friday. We'll teach chair yoga, chair bowspring, basically. And anyways, I could go on and on about that too, because I love service, right? I love helping people. I actually just decided to do that to bring myself more joy.
I remember you telling me that.
Right?
Yeah.
I just wanted more joy in my life. So I'm volunteering and teaching these people. And they just they bring me so much joy. I love going in and setting up the chairs, right? Just so they're not bumping each other with their arms, because they, don't know how to set up the chairs. It's not their thing, right? So there's little things like that. And they always, always, always ask when I'm done, when are you coming back? What are you coming back next?
It's beautiful. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people, I'm grateful because, I've always been a big dreamer, a big doer, a big idea woman. And not everybody in my life has always been, they just don't understand. And that's all. They just haven't understood my bigness. Right? We all have bigness, we all have smallness. There's my form of bigness. And so now I have you in the mornings. I have my clients that I get to work with. I have a business coach and a mastermind group that I'm part of. I have community here in Colorado, where, you know, the Martha down the street on Fridays, right? I've got, you know, the business community. I've got the Bowspring people, beautiful community of souls around the world, right? So it's like local community, global community, but people that are like, you know, I'm joining a community that are planting gardens and backyards, right? Like just this, you can see, look at both of us. We're just like happy little humans.
It's so true. It's so true. And you can find community. Like we just started going to a church for Christmas and we met this group of people and we're partying with them tonight for New Year's. So
cool party for New Year.
Beautiful, you know, and they learned that, you know, Pete's, my husband's going to turn 60 this year. And they're like, oh, you're such babies, you know, because these people are a generation older than we are. And get this, we meet these people in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We've just moved here from Battle Creek. I used to play in the Saginaw Symphony. These people are from Saginaw. And in the 80s, when I was on stage there, they went to the Saginaw Symphony. So they literally saw me on stage for years. You know, I didn't know. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. And they owned a business on the same street where my husband lived when he lived in Saginaw.
Whoa.
It's just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. And then this other woman in the group, she went to high school where one of my sons went to high school in Battle Creek. I mean, what are the chances of that? There's an entire church of people, and these are the people that come and greet us.
So yeah, so stay open.
Stay open. Stay open. Yeah. You don't know who you don't know who your next best friend is going to be. You don't know who you might fall in love with. You don't know.
And take action, right?
Take action. Go out there.
Yeah, like you have to go to the church. You got to go to the party. You got to meet the people that are going to, all of a sudden you realize like, what, we've been following each other around our whole life.
Yeah, right. Literally walking past the sidewalk, but who knows? I know, right?
It's adorable. That's so cool. So I just want to say, you know, for everybody out there, if you need to shift your posture, if you need to, you know, really learn how to not have stress in your life, right? Or if you need people, if you need community, we're here for you.
We are, yeah. And I'm thinking too tonight, like there are some people who want to make sure that they, when I say partying, that they're partying without substances. I was talking to someone earlier today about this. And I think that just knowing that there are people who support you to have a beautiful time without substances, that's important too. Like if that's a part of your life and your deal. So
yeah, it's New Year's Eve. It's a great point. It's New Year's Eve. You know, if you, you know, want to party without substances, there's lots of things out there. I actually each year go to, I love it, downtown. It's like right down the street from the strip club, which is hilarious. Free parking sometimes. So I'm like, I'll park there, walk down. The Buddhist Center, the Buddhist Center down from the strip club downtown. But it's this really sweet, quaint little space. And there's little food and snacks. And then you do a meditation on world peace over midnight. And then it's cool because there's like, everybody's like quiet and it's really zen. And you're meditating on world peace. And then like midnight happens, you know, because it's like, fireworks, you know, like all this kind of stuff goes on. It's the juxtaposition of the what's going on outside and then what's going on inside is really sweet.
Oh yeah.
And they have the little sparkling juice for us, and so you kind of get a little cheers and that thing at the holiday. Yeah, it's really sweet. And there's lots of things like that. There's lots of people.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of people. Your people are out there. If you're feeling lonely and you're not finding people with your values, they're out there. You just have to dig a little bit.
And we're two of them. So drop us a message if you need help next year, because we're really committed to your vision. We could be your biggest cheerleaders if you've never had any before.
Where's our pom-poms for that moment?
We need some big pom-poms. We need some big pom-poms. All right, Chica, I love you. Happy New Year. Make the last day of 2019 amazing. I know you already have plans to, so it's going to be super duper fun. Rest well, eat well tomorrow. And actually I'll talk to you tomorrow morning because that's what we do every day.
That's right.
And bye, friends. We love you guys. We love you so much.
Bye.